Good morning, my dear students, grade 5. Today's lesson is about light. As we have learned before that we need light to see, and there are different sources of light. For example, the sun, bulb, candle. These things that generate their own light, we call them luminous objects. There are other objects that cannot generate their own light, and we call them non-luminous objects. These objects actually absorb some of the light that hits them or falls on them. What about the direction of light? We have learned before that light rays actually travel in all directions. So here is a fluorescent bulb, and as you can see, it's glowing. Look at the light. The light is actually traveling in every direction in straight lines. These are called rays of light. But how can we define ray of light? The ray of light is a straight line path along which light travels. This shows us the way the light travels. The light emitted by luminous objects, now we can see that it can travel in all directions. For example, this light this light bulb, it has the light that falls on the walls or on any object and it's reflected. That's how we can see everything around us. But for example, imagine that we have a surface and there is a light that hits that surface. That light is called incident ray. And then as we learned, that light is also reflected, and the ray reflected is called reflected ray. But why does it reflect in exactly that angle? Because there are rules and laws of reflection. There is a line perpendicular to the surface, and this is called the normal line. These laws of reflection, we are interested in the first one only. The angle of incidence is always equal to the angle of reflection. As we can see, first we have to learn what is the angle of incidence and what do we mean the angle of reflection. The angle of incidence, we will call it I, is the angle made by the incident ray with a normal line. The angle of reflection, we'll call it R, is the angle made by the reflected ray with the normal line. About the angle of incident and the angle of reflection, they are always equal. So the angle of incidence, which we called it I, is always equal to the angle of reflection, which we call it R. So I is equal to R. So if we give an example, like I is equal 30, which is the angle of incident, so the angle of reflected ray also will be 30.